Hi students, welcome to today's class. In today's class, we will be discussing the basic fundamentals of partnership form of business. What is this partnership form of business? Why it came into existence? In the first chapter, we discussed about single entry system. Single entry system or else incomplete records. It is maintained by whom? It is maintained by small traders or sole proprietors. A single trader doing business at a small level is maintaining his accounts under single entry. But when this single trader is not able to expand his business with the capital available, then he goes for partnership form of organization. Why? What is the need? If you want to expand your business, you require capital. Capital is the basic requirement for any business. A single person or a single sole trader can't invest more capital. Even though if he is able to invest also, he has to take lot of risk. If there is profit, he will enjoy all the profit. At the same time, if there is loss, he has to bear all the losses. So because of this need for more capital, risk bearing, managerial ability, partnership form of business came into existence. When a sole trader wants to expand his business and if he requires capital, he can take his friend or any of his relative into his business with an amount of capital. So one person now becomes two. When one single person becomes two persons running a business, it is called as partnership form of business. So today's class we will be seeing what is the basic features of partnership firm, what is its meaning, definition, and also we will be discussing about partnership deed. Simple meaning of partnership firm is it's a form of organization where two or more persons join together to conduct a business. So the minimum number of persons in a partnership firm is 2. If there is only one, means it is a sole trader form of business. When there is more than one, it is called as what? Partnership form of business. All the partners in a firm collectively are called as firm. Each and every individual in the firm is called as partner. So if there are 2 partners, 3 partners, 4 partners, all partners together collectively, they are called as a firm. Thus, to overcome the limitations of sole proprietorship or a small trading business, that is limitation of capital, limitation of managerial ability, risk bearing. So these are the causes why a partnership form of organization came into existence. Next, we will see the definition. Definition of partnership. Partnership is governed under the Partnership Act of 1932. Partnership Act of 1932. Section 4 of the Indian Partnership Act 1932 defines partnership as follows. It's a relationship between persons who have agreed to share the profit of a business carried on by all or any of them acting for all. Okay. What is partnership? Define partnership. It's a relationship between persons who have agreed to carry on business, who have agreed to share the profits of a business carried on by all or any of them acting for all. So that is the meaning. Okay, it is a relationship between persons. So the first thing, it's plural persons. So it can't be one person. If it is one person alone, means it becomes a sole trader form of organization. When it comes to the plural, that is persons, more than one, minimum two, then it is called as what? Partnership. Okay. Then what these persons do? They all join together, agree to share the profit. Agree. They agree to share the profit or loss. So profit also should be shared and loss also should be borne by everybody. A partner cannot say, I will not share the loss. He has to share the loss. But some cases they need not share loss if the other partners agree. Okay. Next. Business. What is the main purpose of forming a partnership? To do a business. So what type of business it should be? Can you do any business? You can do any business, but it should be legal. It should be a legal business. That means, what's the meaning of legal business? It should not be illegal, or it should not be anything which is prohibited by the law. Okay. So any type of business can be carried on by the partners, but it should be a legal business. Okay. Then it can be carried on, the business can be carried on by all or any of them acting for all. What is the meaning of this? It's partnership is a form of business. It can be carried on by all. Suppose 4 partners are there, means all the 4 partners together can carry the business, or there can be only one partner who can be as an active partner. Who is the active partner? He will be doing all the work in the business, he will be managing the business, and we will be doing all the work whatever is concerned regarding the business. Okay. So any one of them can act as an active partner, do the business, but the act of one person also will bind all the partners. So one person's act will bind all the business. Suppose that one partner, the one person who does, if he does not do the business properly, means, and the business goes under loss, means, then it will affect the other partners also. Okay. So that is why it is told as carried on by all or any of them acting for all. So that is a definition given in the book. You can learn the definition. It will be asked in 2 marks also. Okay. So partnership is defined according to the Partnership Act of 1932. It's a relationship between persons who have agreed to share the profits of a business carried on by all or any of them acting for all. Okay, understood the definition? So next we'll move to the features of partnership. What is the first feature? Partnership is an association of 2 or more persons. So minimum how many people should be there? At least 2 people should be there. More, what is the limit for the maximum? Maximum 50 persons. Okay, maximum. Minimum 2, maximum 50. This also will be asked in one word. How many persons can join a partnership? 50 people. If it goes more than 50, means then it cannot be partnership. It has to go for some other form of organization like companies or anything like that. Okay. Second one, it is based on agreement. First thing, it's a relationship between persons. Okay. Second one, it is based on agreement. What is the meaning of agreement? two persons or more than two persons to a limit of 50 persons, they can join together, they will put an agreement to conduct the business. In that agreement, they will specify everything, whatever has to be done in the partnership business, how they have to share the profit, how they are going to pay the salaries, how they are going to charge the interest on loan, the interest on capital, interest on borrowings, everything will be mentioned in the partnership deed. The name of all the partners will be there, their address will be there, all the details will be given, how much of drawings they can take, and if there is any disputes, how it has to be settled, all the details will be written there in the agreement. Agreement can be express agreement, implied agreement, or it can be oral. Okay. What is the meaning of this express agreement? Express agreement means whatever they are saying, whatever they are deciding, whatever they are agreeing, the partners, they will write everything as a document. Okay, it will be in written. It will be in written. That is why it is called as express agreement. Implied agreement, it will not be written, but indirectly it will have an impact. Okay, that is why it is called as implied agreement. Next one is oral. Oral means what? It will not be in writing, it will not be written, but orally they will agree and they will start the business. But it is always good to have the agreement express, that is written. Agreement should be written in writing. Why the agreement should be in writing? Why it should be written? To avoid future disputes. Suppose in future if there is any disputes means, then it can be avoided if the agreement is in writing. If it is not written, what will happen? It will cause misunderstanding and a case cannot be filed against the partner who didn't act properly. Okay. Then what is the oral agreement? It will not be in writing, it will not be written, just orally. They will verbally, they will speak, and they will agree, and they will do the business. But there are more risk in case of oral agreement compared to express agreement. So always it is good to have the agreement written. Okay. And this is also called, when you write the agreement, it is called as partnership deed. Partnership deed. Okay. Next. Now they put an agreement for what? For what? For what is this agreement? To carry on business, to do business. So I already told you, it should be a legal business. It should not be anything against the law of the country. It should be a legal business. Okay. It should be, the last part is that it should be carried on, the business to be carried on by all partners or any of them, acting for all. Carried on by all or anyone acting for all. Is it clear? So what are the features of a partnership? Minimum 2 persons should be there. Maximum how many people should be there? Maximum 50. It is based on an agreement, otherwise it is called as partnership deed. The agreement can be expressed, implied or oral. Always it is good to have express agreement, that is it should be written to avoid future disputes. Then what for you are forming this partnership? To do a business, and it should be a legal business. It can be carried on by all or any one of them acting for all. So these are the features of partnership, form of business. Okay. Next we will be discussing about partnership deed. Partnership deed. What is this partnership deed? In simple words, it is the agreement among the partners. When the agreement is made in writing, it is called as partnership deed or articles of partnership. Okay. It's a very important document where everything is written there. Based on that only, the partners, they have a mutual understanding and they conduct the business. Okay. Partnership deed, it's a document in writing. It's a document in writing. According to the Indian Partnership Act of 1932, it is not compulsory that it should be written. Okay. Even if it is oral also, they can do the business. But always it is good to have the deed or the agreement in writing to avoid future disputes. Okay. Now we'll see what are the contents, what are the things that are there in the partnership deed. Contents of partnership deed. Okay. First thing, it contains the name of the firm and the nature of business. Name of the firm, name of the firm and nature of business. Okay. What is the name of the firm and what type of business you are going to do, that will be written there first. Okay. Second thing, date of commencement. Commencement means what? When, on which date you are starting the business. Date of commencement and the duration. What is the meaning of this duration? How long your partnership is going to continue, whether it is going to be a joint venture. What is the meaning of joint venture? A joint venture means when two or more persons agree together to do a particular work. Once the work is over, the business also will come to an end. For example, construction of a building, construction of an apartments or like that, anything like that. Okay. Once the building is construction work is over, what will happen? The partnership will come to an end or the joint venture will come to an end. So that is called as duration. How long this relationship or this partnership is going to exist. Okay. Next, name and address of all partners. All the people who are engaged in the business, their names will be there and their address also will be mentioned in the partnership deed. Capital contributed by each and every partner. How much of money is contributed, how much of capital is contributed by each and every partner, that should be that also will be mentioned here. Profit sharing. How they are going to share the profit, that is very, very important. We are doing the business just to get a profit. So how we are going to share the profit, that will be mentioned there. Whether you are going to share it equally or in an agreed ratio or in the capital proportion. Suppose Mr. A is contributing 50,000, Mr. B is contributing 40,000. So if you take on the basis of capital contribution means 50,000, 40,000. A is contributing 50 and B is contributing 40,000 means, if you are going to share the profit based on the capital contribution means, then it will be, the ratio will be 5:4. What does it mean? Suppose if they get 9 rupees profit, 5 rupees will be taken by A and 4 rupees will be taken by B. That is called as capital contribution. Okay. Or else they may decide, they may have an agreed ratio. That ratio may be 3:2, anything like that, or equally. Suppose if they get 1 rupee profit means 50 paise, each can share it equally. That is based on the capital contribution. Next, drawings. How much each partner can draw from the business, how much drawings can be done. What is drawings? Drawings is the amount withdrawn by the businessman from the business from his capital. The money what he has invested is the capital, and if is in a need for a personal use, drawings is done for personal use. If there is any personal need for the partner, what he can do? He can draw the money from the business. That is called as what? Drawings. It doesn't mean as they like they can keep on drawing. So how much they can draw and what intervals, in what intervals. It's not that every day they can be drawing. Maybe quarterly, half yearly, or at the beginning of the month or end of the month, middle of the month, like that they will decide. All the partners will decide how much money to be withdrawn from the business. Okay. Next, interest. Interest on capital. See, interest on capital, they have contributed capital, and for the capital what they have contributed, they will be getting an interest. So that is called as what? Interest on capital, but it should be specified in the deed. It should be specified in the deed. It should be told that 6%, 5% they can take interest on the capital what they have contributed. If there is nothing specified, means then they cannot claim for any interest on capital. Okay. Next is interest on drawings. Okay, interest on drawings. If they draw money, if they withdraw money from the capital, what the partner has to do? He has to pay a certain amount of interest for that. That is called as what? Interest on drawings. Next, interest on loan. Suppose if the partner is contributing some money as loan to the business, to run the business, then he has a right to claim for interest, and that will be up to what amount? 6%. Okay, 6% of interest will be given for the money what he has contributed in the form of loan for the business. Okay. Next, salary. There may be 5 partners, 6 partners, any number of partners. Okay, but there may be 1 partner or 2 partner who are doing an active business in the active participation in the business. So that partner will be paid salary. For that also a provision should be there. It should be mentioned in the deed that Mr. A or Mr. B can be paid 5,000 or 10,000, whatever is that, as a salary. That should be mentioned in the deed. Once it is mentioned, then the partners what they can do? They can claim for the salary. If it is not mentioned, then they can't claim anything. Next, maintenance of accounts. Maintenance of accounts and audit. How they are going to keep the books of the accounts? Books of accounts is very, very important. Okay, so that should be maintained. And the audit. What is the meaning of audit? Checking of the accounts. What is the procedure for auditing? That also to be mentioned there in the agreement. Okay. Next, procedure for admission of a new partner. Procedure for admission. So what is this admission? Already 5 partners are there. For example, you take 5 partners are there in the business, and they want to add 1 more partner in the business. Suppose the 6th partner want to be admitted. The 6th partner can enter into the business only if all the other 5 partners agree. Even if 1 partner disagrees, then the 6th partner can't enter into the business. That is called as what? Admission. So what is the procedure? What has to be done at the time of admission of a partner? That also will be mentioned in the deed. Next, retirement. Retirement of a partner. Suppose 1 partner, he doesn't want to continue the business. What he can do? He can just give a notice or writing, in writing. He can say that I am not willing to continue the business. He can retire from the business. What is the procedure for retirement, and how we are going to settle the dues for him? So when he is going out of the business, what he will do? He will take whatever he has contributed and whatever is there as a profit for him in the business, all the reserves, general reserve, what is the surplus there, and any type of fund, anything is there in the business, whatever belongs to him, he has to take and go. So what is the procedure for settling? How we are going to settle the amount to the retiring partner? That also will be mentioned in the deed. Then next, valuation of goodwill. What is this goodwill? It's a good name or the reputation of the firm. So when a partner is admitting in the business, when a partner is admitted in the business, and also at the time of when the partner is retiring from the business, you have to value the goodwill, whatever is there in the business. So what is the method you are going to follow? There are so many methods are there to calculate goodwill. What is the method? How you are going to value goodwill? That procedure also will be mentioned here. Okay. Then appointment of executor. Executors. So what is this Who are these executors? Suppose as the business is going on, suddenly one partner dies unexpectedly, a death occurs, means that whatever has to go to the, whatever share has to go to that partner will be taken by whom? By his executor. So, executor is a person who is appointed in place of the partner, the deceased partner or the person who has died. Okay. So, what is the procedure for that? How, what are the legally how we are going to settle all the claims for the deceased partner? How we are going to appoint the executor? All these procedures will be mentioned there in the deed. Okay. Then the final last one, dissolution. If the firm dissolves, what is the meaning of dissolving a firm or dissolution of a firm? Means the firm comes to an end, it will be closed, it will not be there anymore. So, at the time of dissolution also, at the time of winding up or closing of the firm, what is the procedure, how it has to be settled, all that procedure also will be mentioned in the agreement. Okay. So, you understood, so you know what is the value, why it is very important. According to the Indian Partnership Act of 1932, a partnership agreement, it is not compulsory in India that an agreement should be in writing. It can be an oral agreement also, but it is always good to have the agreement in writing. Understood, children? So, I told all the deeds, contents, what are the things contained in the agreement. I hope you have understood what is a partnership form of business, why it came into existence, what is the meaning, definition, features, and also the contents of partnership deed. Thank you.